What's going on, guys, and welcome back to another episode of your Thunder Bay North Stars franchise mode. We left off at last episode, and after the draft, which we can basically only call mediocre, unfortunately, we were hoping to get us a couple stud left wingers. Did not happen. We did pick up some prospects. We did pick up some guys that are going to grow over the next 3 to 5 years. So we should have a decent opportunity going forward. And then in free agency, we picked up a couple minor league players. I don't even remember if it was on camera or off screen. But I mean, the only big signing was really Rasmus Sandin, who was available on a two-way contract in the AHL. And then we simmed up to the beginning of the season here. So we're heading into season 7 here. The first 6 seasons, I don't even know how you want to call it. We won the President's Trophy twice. Made the playoffs 3 times, second round twice, third round once, which we got beat up last year. Missed the playoff 3 times. So it's been an interesting series. So this is really where we need to take that step forward. And we're going to do it in a weird way, I think. We're going to do a small teardown for a big build-up. Now, I did have this episode the beginning of this episode recorded. Unfortunately, something came up in the middle of it, and I lost the recording. So, I'm just going to give you a quick recap of what we talked about in the first one before I had to redo it here. So there already have been some moves. We're going to make some more moves, and I'll go through all that with you already. Luckily, the big moves haven't happened yet. Before the big move hadn't happened yet. We're in the middle of doing it before the interruption came. So on our top line here, we have Ald, Barkov, and Holtz. Now, obviously, we can move Kost and our Nylander up, and it would give us a bit more of overalls right away. But when you look at it, goes from a +3 to a +1 and a +5 to a +1. We're going to leave it. So our top line's looking like a 91, 96, 89, which really isn't that bad. Our second line, though, I would say there's not a second line better than ours in the league. We have Lucas Raymond, who's an 85, so he's 90. Klim Kostin, who's going to be an 93, and William Nylander, who's going to be a 95. Just things you love to see. Our third line, we have Perfetti making his NHL debut. Ideally, would I have liked him to move up a bit? Yes. But we'll see what he does in the third line. Sam Still, Liam Foudy, all really good players. All top 6 potential still, except for Freddie, who's an elite. And then we have a great fourth line with Forsbacka, Carlson, Merkley, and Kyrou. Where things are interesting right now, and they will change, so don't get too excited at anything, is our defense. So we have Krejci and Boquist at a +3, Fabro, Renski at a +1, and then Bouchard and Maurer sitting at no negative chemistry, but not positive either. I tried a bunch of different line combinations here with Bouchard. Mauer's the only one that doesn't give it a negative. So once we get to our contract screen, you'll understand my decisions a little bit better, hopefully. And then in net, we have Vasilevsky still with Gustafsson backing up. So, like I said, a couple things have already changed, and I will show you what they are. So we have Boquist, who's up for a contract this year. As you can see, he does not want a contract extension, and he also wants 10.05 million. So that's actually changed from when I had recorded the first video, because he wanted 10.4 for 4 years. Sorry, 10.4 for 6 years. So what does he want for 6 now? For 6 years now, he wants 13.825. So again, but even 10 for 1 year, and it's just so he takes him to UFA status. So he's probably going to be traded, guys, and that's really unfortunate. I know he's been good for us. Not great. I've seen him be a lot better, but if you look here, we'll go to career stats. So he's been with us for a year and a half or 2.5 years now, two full years. 66 and 64 points, nothing to scoff at, especially for a young kid on a growing team. I mean, he's helped us get to the playoffs the last 2 years for sure, but he hasn't been spectacular. I mean, he hasn't won a Norris. He played 24 minutes for us last year, but he hasn't been overly spectacular. So for me to pay him 10.5 or 10.05 for 1 year, or 13, 14 million for multi-years, I think there's going to be some better options out there. So we're gonna take a look at that. Dante Fabro, we give a pay raise to. He was asking for 6.1 over 4 years, so we give him 5.2 for 4 years because he wanted to re-sign. So we got him on a bit of a hometown discount. Bouchard does not want to re-sign. He did want 5.325. Now he wants 5.175. So he's went down a bit on his ask, but again, he doesn't want to sign. He's an 82 overall third line pairing. We're probably going to have to let him go. The other guy we made an offer to, so we didn't offer Foodie anything yet because he wants 2.9, which is now $300K more than he wanted earlier a couple days ago. So that's unfortunate. Might end up costing us by not signing him, but I don't want to sign him quite yet, just because I'm not sure how this year is going to go, and I'll show you something else here in a quick second. Krejci, we did sign to 2.4 for 4 years, and then we got Mauer on a 0.775 one-way contract for 2 years, and we also have we picked up Drysdale and Gould on the exact same contract, which is nice. And the reason I said I wasn't sure about Foodie is we do have Nyquist here, who is 20 years old and 85 overall. He's NHL second line already. We haven't even signed him to a contract. We're going to let it play out because I think once we sign him, we might be able to move off from one of the big names and either Barkov or Klim Kostin to make room for him. This is where our drafting has really helped us. And even when you look at the AHL, I mean, look at our depth. We have Oland, who can move up to a fourth liner at any time. Drysdale, Gould, Holt, Solovoyov, Shoemakers. These guys are all potentially could play a top, even Shoemakers considered a top 6D already. Kaliev, I'm really hoping takes a step this year. It's been really disappointing that he hasn't. Rasmus Sandin, again, I've seen him get to over a 90, so I'm not sure why he's sitting at a 76, but I'm going to give him top line minutes here and hope he grows. But we just have good depth. So let's hope that we see some growth going on here, especially with some of our younger guys, and maybe one day they can fit into the roster. The reason we're making a big change in goaltending is we have an 85 overall here in Albert Schelzer. Plus, already have 2 guys signed and a couple of elites that keep growing. Like Thibodeau was a 40-something out of draft, I think, maybe or low 50, and he's already up to a 68. So he's growing fantastic. Leidman, who I'm guessing will grow. And the other one we did here is we got Gustafsson for 2.25 over 2 years. Now, he wanted over $5 million for one, but he took 2.25 for two. So if you went to 2 years, that's what he wanted. I give him exactly what he wanted. I didn't try to lowball him. When you went up to 3 years, it went back up to over 4. So I'm not sure why the 2 years was the sweet spot for him, but we'll take it. And I think that allows us to get rid of Vasilevsky, who is an elite goalie. He's potential elite. He's 91 overall. But we have Gustafsson, who's a starter. And if we go route and we put Albert Schelzer in, he is already considered an elite goalie as well. So I think that's going to be the right step for us. So let's take a look at what trades are out there. Now, I'm going to go and show you quickly kind of what I played around with earlier before, the video got deleted. So I don't know how Klim Kostin is maxed out contract, but he is. Boquist is also maxed out, which is one of the reasons I think now is the time to get rid of him, because once the season starts, that trade value is going to keep diminishing as he only has 1 year left. Unfortunately, if we keep going down here, you see Bouchard doesn't have a ton of trade value, so we're not going to get a lot for him. We'll definitely see what we are able to get, though. But in terms of goaltending, one thing that's upsetting is how little, but how little trade value Vasilevsky has. And when we do look at the trade fund, there's only one team that wants him, and it's San Jose. So let's go to edit trade here. Now, I don't really want Bustad. Why is that? They consider that a fair trade? 85 overall, third line scorer. That's not at all what I want. The issue I was having last video, and this is where actually the video had stopped, was they can't take on the cap. So I was looking at what defense they might have that is a really bad cap hit, and Benning is 2.1 for 1 year, so that's something I could take on, versus a Merkley at 5.1 for 3 or Zaitsev at 5.4 for 3 isn't really something I want to take on because we are going to have some free agents to sign coming up. So if I add Benning in, it's still not enough. Vasilevsky has 4 years left. I don't want to eat away any more cap. So let's just see what else they might have. And thinking about their draft picks, the one thing we need to be aware of, or one thing we need to be diligent of, is the fact that as soon as we become Vasilevsky, they're going to become good. They already have like an 89 overall Carlson or an 88 PRV. So they're not a bad team. They have Hurdle, like their center depth is pretty good. They have Hurdle, Tyson Jost, Nick Bustad. So they're not going to be a bad team. It's just they're not a great team. So we'll take on Jesper Fast here. He has 1 year left. That's fine. So that'll get it to go through. I don't know. So the reason I was saying about they're not going to be a bad team is do you really want 2 first rounders from them? Could I get more somewhere else? Could I fill another hole? I don't know. Let's see if this goes through before I don't know. Trade rejected. Okay. Woefully insufficient. I don't think so. That's almost for the best. So what we're going to do now, let's work on defense first. And I think in this case, we're going to go defense for defense. So if we do player search here, I'm going to keep this super simple. We're just going to go to defense. We don't care about player type. We don't care about handiness. We want them to be under 27. And we want them to be at least a 4, top 4. And I don't want any of that low potential accuracy. So let's search here. There are a couple guys right in a row that, like, we're not going to get these guys. And to be honest, they're a bit on the, Rasmus Dahlin. But his contract 1 year left, and then you go up to 11 for 6. Not really a contract I want. Heiskanen would be okay. But there's a couple guys just down here a little bit. I mean, there's Boquist for us. And then you see there's Jersey has Chucko with 2 years left. He's an 89. Edmonton has Torres, and Boston Bruins have Wengrino. So they're all 20 years old. They all have pretty good thing. Now, Wengrino is... The reason I like him is he signed for 3 more years at 6.15, which is fantastic contract. Chucko's obviously the leader of the pack here. He's a defensive defenseman. So not ideal, but not bad. Torres is a defensive defenseman, and the one thing about Wengrinoski is he's a two-way defender. So I think we're going to see about Chucko first, and if not, we're going to pop over to Boston. So let's go to trade for asset and just see how unlikely it is that Jersey's going to trade with us, because I'm pretty sure it's going to be unlikely. They also have Dadonov. Remember, we tried trading for him, but we couldn't get him. That's when we ended up getting Boquist. So he's getting 10.9 for 2 years. But if we go Chucko here, so we're dropping 2 overall, but we're getting a guy that's 20 versus 20. I think Boquist is 25? Yeah, so not a huge difference. Jersey'd be over the maximum salary cap. That's frustrating. Did not see that coming. Retained salary. Well, I can retain half his salary. I don't know if it'll be enough. Doesn't look like it. Does not look like it. We'll go all the way here. No. Okay, so do they have a negative value guy? Some guy who has a really big contract that they want to get rid of. So let's go salary. They'll be highlighted right away. So again, he has too much trade value. We want the guy with like negative, like a good Branson. No. Okay, so Chuck Lennon is going to work. Let's head over to Boston. They can fit him in the cap, which is things you love to see. Looks like they're trying to get rid of some defense here. And let's just go this way, and we'll throw him up. Now, because they don't want Boquist, and we're retaining salary this year. This year, I don't care about the salary, so we'll retain it, make Boston feel good about themselves. they don't. I'm being greedy. I don't know if I can get something else out of them. I hope I can. That would be nice. Like a second. Can we get a second out of this? Trade rejected. Not sufficient at all. Okay, I'm probably going to have to add to this, which is crazy to think about. Because we're giving them too far off. All right. Well, as you can see, the trade value is completely in our favor. Can this go through? Rejected. Just a bit low for us. Wow. Okay. Well, let's see if there's anybody matching their trade block that I want to get rid of. Anybody low here? Oland. I mean, don't really care about Oland. Merkley, Poulin I like still. So if I can get rid of a guy who's never going to make the NHL, he's just going to be a career AHLer. He's 28 now, yeah. So, I mean, even if we do get guys we need up the NHL, I wouldn't pull him. But he's 79 overall, so he does help the AHL team. He definitely does. But can I throw him in there and over 45 skaters? Of course. Of course. So if there's something else, anybody they want to get rid of that has terrible value. Tim Lowe. I don't know if it's Tim. I'm guessing it's Tim. Tony Lowe. Anybody with it's a bit better. Like, that's a defenseman. I don't want defense. Jeez. All right. Well, this might not go through. Everybody's a D. Okay. Well, let's. Okay, we're gonna go with the lowest. We'll take the lowest guy here, and just to try, because I'd rather not get rid of a draft pick right now. So if I can get Tony Lowe, we'll do it. Otherwise, we'll check draft picks out. Does that go through? No, just a bit low. So let's just see what they want for draft picks. Let's make it nice and easy. I don't really want to give an unsigned guy up. So they want... I'll give them their own 5th back. How does that work? Trade rejected. Just a touch. Well, can I give them their own 5th and our 6th? Does that go through? Just a touch. Their own 5th and our own 5th? Just so I don't want to get rid of draft picks, and here I am giving up 2. Just a bit touch. Okay. What about if I just go up to a 4th? Just suck it up and go up to a 4th. Just a touch. Oh my goodness. This is frustrating. This is absolutely frustrating. And just a touch. Okay. I don't know. I guess just a touch means something different to me than it does to them. So we'll go 6. No. Okay, what about 5? So now we're going to have to give a 4th and a 5th, and I was hoping to just avoid that altogether. And at least we just touch. Okay, I just want to make sure nothing else had gone on there. So what if I just go 3 5s? Just do it. Just a touch. Guys, I know I don't have the camera on today, but my head just drops. Like, this is just ridiculous. 3 5s and a 6. Just a bit low for us. Let's go 2 5s and a 4. All right, come on, guys. This is just a bit low for us. All right, so 3 5s and a 4 apparently. This is ridiculous. This is ridiculous. Even just a touch. Like, I don't know. I'm not. Can I go 2 4s? Do I have a 4 from next year? Do they want it? Can I go 2 4s? Does that get it done? Oh my goodness, guys! I know what you're thinking. Like, come on, just pony up, and you're right. I should. I just don't understand how this is. Like, I'm giving them the better player, and yes, he has 1 year left. I understand that, but at the same time, it just went through. All right, so that is. Go to roster moves. I guess we'll just take care of this right away, so it doesn't affect our lines, because it did take me some time to get everything set up there. We'll bring him up. Confirm. Fantastic. Edit lines. We'll see if we can just insert them to into everything that was missed, and I'll come back and I'll edit lines in a bit. So we'll just substitute in all lines. All right, so we're down to a +1, but that means I don't have to have Krejci on the top line. So we can go Fabro up there. And Mauer doesn't do anything. What about Bouchard? No, it's just a -3. Are they both defensive defensemen? Yeah. Okay. And what else is he not on right now? The shootout. Why was he ever on the shootout? Bolquist, I mean. Nylander. Oh, Nylander, Barkov, Raymond, Costin. So we want Perfetti or Holtz. Let's go Perfetti, just for the fun of it. See if he has some fun out there on the shootout. All right. So there is one down. Now we give up way more than I had anticipated, but that's okay. So now let's move on to Bouchard. We have Anaheim's our own first. Are we still considered a champion? We are. I wonder if we get rid of Vasilevsky next. If we don't do it next, let's get rid of Bouchard. I wonder if we drop down. I believe in the team, and I think we're going to be a champion. But if we get rid of a couple players here, our draft pick might get more value, and I can try trading it for another person's draft pick. So who can absorb Bouchard and wants him? A rebuilder would be ideal. So Chicago, rebuilder. Yokihiro is their best defenseman. They have Pierre-Luc Dubois, Dylan Strome, who, remember in the first episode, or second season, Dylan Strome, terrible line, and we're going to go get him. Well, they rebounded with him just fine. So they're a solid team. I don't know why they're a rebuilder. They're not great. But I guess goaltending might make a difference. Yeah, goaltending makes a difference. So what do they have in terms of draft picks? Can I get their first for Bouchard in our first, which I just said I didn't want to do until we get more value on it? And who's their worst player that's on the trade block? That has terrible contract. Bufflin has a terrible contract. Hamonic has a terrible contract. So if I take Bufflin back, I mean, that's Bouchard and my first for their first and Bufflin. Trade rejected. Woefully insufficient. Well, I don't know about woefully, but definitely insufficient. I understand that. Skaters matching block. Is there anybody on here that I don't see a long-term fit with? Who's not signed? Top 6, 67, 65, 72 at 21. That's not bad. Not bad at all. Drysdale, Gould. I mean, Gould's kind of a frustrating one, but I just re-signed him for basically nothing. So I don't really want to get rid of him. Krejci has no value for some reason. I don't know why. Olin has no value, so I don't think adding him in. So let's go to an unsigned player here. So which one do I think is going to have the hardest time coming over? So 2, 2, 2.5, 1.5, 3.5. And then this guy is 1.5, 1.5, 2, 1.5. Obviously, so Pedersen's first round, second round. Bobrovsky. All right, well, what if we go with Kliznik here? Does that make this go through? Rejected. The value just isn't where we need to be up. Okay, well, I get that, I guess. This episode's dragging on already, and we're just doing some trades. So this is just going to go up as a trade video, I'm guessing. What if I just add in a third? Isn't sufficient at all. What if I add in one more prospect? And these are unsigned prospects, so it's not like I'm giving up a ton of our depth, because we have a lot of depth. These are just unsigned prospects, and center, we want to keep left wings. Our center depth is fantastic, so let's just add a center in. Does go through? Isn't sufficient at all. All right. Well, let's keep looking. We already have Columbus's first. Hopeful rebuilder. Okay. What are you looking like in the good old state of Michigan? They got Byram, Larkin, and then it kind of drops off. Now, Svechnikov, Zadina, I don't know why you guys are considered a rebuilder. Again, I'm guessing it's going to have to come down to goaltending. And well, you have Malcolm Subban, who's an 81, not great. What are you looking like for draft picks here? Your first. Over 45 skaters, because I'm trying to get rid of Bouchard. That's the whole point. So let's look at all skaters. Now, they did have one guy and one guy only on the trade block, but let's see. Hronik has 1 year left, so let's throw him out there again. Well, they don't really care about salary. He's just a negative value kind of guy. But let's see if my first and Bouchard goes through for their first and Hronik. And no. Okay, what if I add in the player they want to get rid of? What's he like? Top 6, like nothing special. So if I do that instead of Hronik, will that sweeten it? No. Okay, let's go back to add that prospect in. Let's go back and add that prospect wherever he is. Oh, there's another one in here now. Oh, Nyquist. Yeah. No, thank you. So who did I... Kolesnik was the guy I was going to give up. Does that go through? It's too far off. All right. Well, we'll do the same trade we offered. We offered the last team. We'll give them Patterson, who's going to be a good prospect. Going to be a great prospect even. All right. Welcome to the team. I'm just going to go to... I'm going to go to best roster right now, because then after I sign Gustafsson, I'm probably going to end the video and edit lines again, and this will just be called a trade video, and then the next video will be the rest of this, the rest of the season. We'll do the whole season. So now we just need to find who's going to take on our let's go to draft picks, see what it looks like. So we got Columbus and Detroit, both rebuilders, things you love to see. And this one hurts, but we're going to try to get rid of Vasilevsky. So who wants Vasilevsky, and what can we get for Vasilevsky? They have an 80 overall goalie, a 76 overall goalie. Now, they do have an elite guy coming up in the system here, but anytime you see that want it, it's worth noting. And we're not going to be able to get like an A++ prospect for him, but we should be able to get something. And ideally what I want is an AHL player. That would be what I'm looking for. Somebody that's not quite in the NHL yet, somebody that can grow and develop, even somebody in the CHL, but I definitely need more value than that. And I want to send him somewhere who wants him, because that way I can get more for him. I don't think these guys are going to be able to do anything with their cap situation. But this guy, top 6 already, 79 at 21, that's not bad. Because they're a depth forward. He's a former first-round pick. Scouts say we don't have any assessment on him. That's all right. That's not too bad. Now, if I go like this, can they... Yeah, I didn't even look. They can't afford him at all. So let's make sure we take a look at that. Same thing with San Jose, we've already found out. Nobody really wants him, eh? Well, we'll make it work. I'm not worried. I just wish we could send him somewhere that could net us a good return. Because again, this first round pick is going to lose half its value as soon as we trade it. It's going to lose half its value. Let's go to all skaters, see if they have a good prospect. They do not. No, they don't. I mean, we could get another D, really solidify that top 4. Not really what I want to do. Yokihiru. All right, who else wanted him? Keep going through here. All right, LA did. LA can take him in the cap. LA wants him. LA just doesn't have anything in return. Doughty, I'm sure you were good once upon a time. Chaika wants it. He has a 6-year, $5.8 million contract extension. Elite potential, interesting. Former 7th round. What is a two-way defender? I don't know if I want to be paying 5.8 for 6 years. That's tough. That's tough. But their prospect pool is just terrible. Just terrible. Okay. All right. 23, 21, and 74. I mean, he's just not developing either. 24, he's an 82. Sean Dursey. And do they have any goalie prospects? They had that one elite guy. Is he signed to a contract? Is that why they say he's in CHL? Yeah. I mean, hopefully he grows. So, I mean, he could turn into something. And then can I get... Like, look at that. First is already not much value. They're considered hopefuls, that's why. So 2 firsts and an elite goalie. Don't love it. They don't either. They don't either. Nashville can take him too. Let's take a quick look at Nashville's depth. I'll cancel and see if they have anything that can make this go through. Slavin is 31. If I'm going to get back at defense, I want a young person that's going to grow still. Ellis is 34, and these guys just don't have any value. Justin Williams still kicking around. So it feels like, I'm giving up an elite goaltender for hope. And as much as I love hope is scary. Hope is scary. They don't have any an elite goalie hanging around now. Their starting goalie is 68. Now it's dumb because there are better goalies than this in free agency. So the fact they're not taking it I don't understand that. Don't understand it at all. 2 firsts and a second won't go through. Just 2 firsts. That will not be that good once you get them. And I don't have a second or anything, so second for next year. Rejected. Woefully insufficient. All right, San Jose, how can we make this work? How can we make this work? Who do you have negative? Who do you have negative? I can't remember. I know I had a hard time making this work before. I want somebody back with 1 year left that has almost no trade value and that I'm able to just bury. Yeah, Zaitsev's 3 years. Benning was 1, but it was not enough. Now, if I were to just, how much would I don't want to have a 1 million on my cap hit for the next 4 years. That's tough. That won't go through, will it? No. Okay. Well, I'm glad that won't go through. But I nobody wants Vasilevsky. Nobody wants Vasilevsky. If we get rid of next year's, what else can we add in? What else can we add in? What's the salary situation like again? Merkley, they want to get rid of Zaitsev, but I just don't want Zaitsev. They want to get rid of Gardner. He has 2 years left. He's in the AHL right now, isn't he? He's in the AHL. I'd put him in the AHL if he was on our team. That would go through. We'd have to take both. And that almost adds a value there with their first. That's just not enough. First, second, third. Does that go through? No. First, second? No. This is not what I was expecting. So let's try trading him to somebody who doesn't want him. That's, I guess, what it's coming down to. Rebuilder, Washington Capitals, has no cap space. Do you have anything I want? Christian Dvorak, no. Again, your prospect pool is not much better. All right. Who has cap space? You have cap space. I'll take a player back, but they have cap space. They're top heavy. I think a goaltender of this team would make him a contender instantly, which means you don't want the first round draft pick. This is what I'm getting at. You don't want the first round draft pick when they're that heavy of a team already. This guy will go down to the minors for us. How many years does he have left? This is last year. He does have a contract extension. He's top 6 overall sniper. I mean, that's all we have is snipers, but we throw him out there. Let's see. Wait, why was that not able to go through? Calgary have too many goalies. Okay, let's take a look at your goalies, Calgary. Goalies and nobody good. Wow. Yeah, I don't want anybody. Not a single person. All right, who else has cap space? Colorado has cap space. What does Colorado want? This is so boring for everybody. I already know that. I apologize. Forward, they're all skaters. All right. Capo. What I'm looking for is not centers, though. 19 and 72. Left wing, Tayutin. Okay, there's one. 79, 22. No contract extension. What do you list it at, though? Can I get you? You're the top 6 already. Defensive defenseman. 20 and 71, 21, 75. I want that young kid, but obviously they'd have more value if that were the case. Let's say if I add him in and I don't know, 2 firsts. At least 2 firsts. 2 firsts and a second. Does that go through? Not sufficient at all. 2 firsts. Not sufficient at all. How are they looking this year? Probably good. So let's go first, second, and a second. Rejected. Okay. Well, I don't know what to do. I do not know what to do. We already have your first. You have tons of other draft picks, but we already have your first. So what do you have for prospects? What do you have for prospects? He's a good prospect. Youngman. 4th overall. Not bad. Adam Wembriggs. Hosang. Mr. Stamkos. Left winger even. Interesting. I would definitely keep you in the minors, but I like what you have to offer. I like that. That's not a bad trade so far. Any of these guys, again, 2178, not former first rounder. We already have so many prospects, but how does that go through? Rejected. Now, if I'm picking up a centerman here, I can afford to get rid of a centerman, so let's go looking at skaters matching blocks. Let's see if they want Oland or something. They do. Oland. Does that make it go through? No. Well, keep in mind that first is going to lose value. That first will lose value instantly. And what else do you want that I have? I don't want to give up Bobrovsky. I don't want to give up Poulin. I mean, if I do give up Bobrovsky, I already have that new left winger now. Okay, draft picks. I mean, I don't have a ton, which is why I'm trying to get him back. If I go for a first for a second, that should go through. It doesn't. Okay. Vasilevsky for a first and Stamkos. Does not go through. Wow. Maybe I'm just ignorant, like thinking that should go. Because I definitely do think it should go. Rejected. Woefully insufficient. All right. And a second. Because I'm at my wit's end here. And a second. Not sufficient at all. I don't know how that's not sufficient at all. How is that not sufficient? You're giving... All right, we might keep Vasilevsky. I don't know. We might keep Vasilevsky. I guess I'm overvaluing him because he's a 91 overall goaltender. And these guys have nobody. But that's just me, crazy old me. Why would I expect a fair trade? I shouldn't. That's silly of me. Absolutely silly of me. Come on. There's just the prospect pool is not good. Not good. 19, he's only 70 overall. So I'm just trying to think if I can like load up on prospects. Like, does that help soften the blow here? Like CHL prospects. So there's 3 CHL prospects for Vasilevsky. I feel like the Ottawa Senators here, I'm just losing trades. I'm greedy. Just a bit low. Okay, so I'm getting 3 CHL prospects for Vasilevsky in a 5th. For Vasilevsky and 2 5ths. Can you please define a bit low? Vasilevsky, 2 5ths and a 6th. Vasilevsky, 2 5ths, a 6th, and skaters match and block. Banks is 18 and 62. Sucky is 18 and 62. I have just too many defensemen, I think. All right. Oh, hold on. Who is this down a little bit further? If I don't get rid of Sucky. And I go Kreider. Cool. Does this go through? It does. Wow. All right. Okay, just went GM best roster. We're still considered a champion. Things you love to see. That was a very long video to get trades done. I apologize, but we did. We got some prospects. We made some trades, made some signings. I am going to work on the lines right now, and I will get everything set up, and the next episode will be the season, okay? So we'll see what we need to do with the trade deadline, but I'm feeling pretty good about this season. So thank you very much. I appreciate it, and I will see you guys in the next video.